Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah, out of Penn State. They call him Baby Gronk, apparently, which that feels a little bit like everyone's going to be a Baby Gronk now, you know? I feel like I've heard someone else called Baby
year,
Gronk.
isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure Vance was referred to as Baby Gronk at one point.
that's what I mean. Like, less of the Baby Gronk, you know? It's an impossible comparison. But yeah, I mean, is it earned? I mean, I was going through his tape. I mean, this is a guy who's very heavily used in his offense, right? I think PFF, if I reference PFF a lot now, it's because Gav shared the PFF draft guide with me, so they have a lot of useful little stats and tidbits in. And that's why I'm starting to sound like Gav, who
Not sure
usually...
you should hit that on it. You've paid for it.
Yeah.
I paid for it, and as part of that, I've loaned it to you. There you go. So
Thank you.
I think I can say that.
You've really bailed me out there. I can hear him breathing down my neck with that PFF lawyer money. Sorry, yeah. So that's why I sound more like Gav.
Collinsworth, we apologise.
Yeah, that's why I sound a little bit more informed now, like Gav used to. So Pat Freiermuth had.
What's this?
Yeah, I've taken the spot, Gav. He had. You just really tickled me now. This guy is like a mega used in his offense, right? He's 27.8% of the target share last season was just to him, right? So that shows that the team has a lot of faith in him, I think, and I could kind of see why. Like he's hyper physical, he's very strong, especially with the ball in his hands. I think he's a monster with the ball in his hand. He's not a guy who's going to win deep or whatever, but he finds space in zone coverage well. He's always kind of finding that little crease. And I think he should be a big plus in the passing game, which is what we're kind of looking for. I do think he'll be drafted too high for the Steelers. I think realistically, if we're looking at bigger needs at that point in the draft, I think he's probably a second rounder, I would imagine, especially with the light amount of tight ends at the top of the draft. But you know, if this was a guy who we were talking about maybe falling into later rounds, I'd be really interested.
Yeah, I think I've been roped into the hype, and I'm slightly down on him. But
really?
I think but that's only because I think, you know, for the whole year it's been Freiermuth versus Pitt, you know, and Pitt's, and you turn the tape on and one's clearly ahead of the other, I think, and I just think let someone else draft him. There's a lot of good things he does very well. I think he's like a QB's best friend. You know, he finds and sits down in the holes in coverage really well, and he's another one that's great at getting separation, but he does it through breaks rather than, he's not like kind of he sells fakes really well on his routes and stuff, and but I find I get frustrated with him as well though, because I don't always see him delivering hits. He kind of soaks up hits, and it looks to me like he's going to get injured. That's the kind of, I just think it feels like he did get injured, right? He had an undisclosed season-ending injury in 2020, which will come out, and that will happen. You know, they're trying to keep it secret, but I guess we'll know at some point. But yeah, just like he's one of those guys that just seems to soak up hits, and I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? The guy's running with the ball, and you want him to like lower the shoulder and bring the pain, and he just looks like he's taking a hit.
Just gets demolished.
But the other thing I noticed, and you'll like this, side, because it's not analytical. There's a lot of body language I don't like on the tape. Shrugging shoulders, sulking, looking annoyed at teammates. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. Maybe that's just me, and I do
like that you brought that up, but I can't say I noticed that, but that's interesting.
Yeah, and the other thing I don't like about him is his catch radius isn't that big. I mean, he's not a complete body catcher. He does catch with his hands, but all of his grabs are quite close into his body. So I'm down on him, man. I've still got him as my third tight end. I still think he's good. But I just think, I'm not sure. I'm not sold that he's a clear-cut number 2.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I thought his strength was more in the passing game, but people are kind of like painting him out as like a run-blocking tight end, like almost like that's his main skill set. I thought he was a little bit lacking in physicality in that aspect.
Yeah, I don't see him.
Which was weird, because he was physical when he had the ball in his hands, you know?
He doesn't deliver much punch with his blocks, does he? He's kind of a bit of, like, I don't know, soggy or something.
A bit slow with it.
Yeah.
There was a game, I'm sure you saw the clip as well. I was watching the tape of him against Nebraska, right? And he's meant to, like, chip block this edge who, like, to just give the QB enough time to throw him the ball in the flat. And he does it, but he does it with such little, like, intensity that he floats off the edge rusher, And the QB just like gets absolutely lit up, fumbles the ball, and it's returned for a touchdown. I was like, that is entirely on him. So I didn't like that. But I'm also a little bit, I don't like to maybe pin one play on a guy too much in the evaluation because, it's already hard to get a wide enough snapshot of these guys as it is, YouTube scouting and whatnot. But
yeah, but you do try and you do. I definitely watched like for aggression and stuff like that in these guys, and I'm not sure I see it there. I'm not sure I see the sort of just the nasty. It doesn't seem like it's kind of he's talented and he's great footwork, route running, and he is tough through the breaks, but it's sort of like a toughness of self-preservation rather than just enjoying hitting other people. I don't know. I wonder if he's going to get owned in the NFL. That's my question.
What do you think, Dave?
Coming before we started recording, and this guy was my Red Star guy, and you've just
Dave, don't let
Dave, don't let us
put you off. And remember, I like him. I'm just
You've just pissed on my chips, guys. Thanks.
No, well that's good. I like it. It's good when we disagree, man. It's good. It gives when we come back in a year's time and look back at who was right and who was wrong. That's good.
Well, like you guys said, I love him as a route runner. I think it's great. He's super physical as a receiver. I do wish he was just as physical as a blocker, but I feel like that can be coached. I think that's not a concern for me. That's something that can be coached into him. I didn't see all the sort of like you're saying extracurricular sort of stuff of being a bit sulky and arguing with teammates. I didn't see any of that. I'd have to sort of have a look for any of that. I didn't see any when I was watching any tape. But I'd actually pinned him as a bit of a bowling ball type. I mean, when we had Vance in that sort of first season he joined the Steelers. Here we go.
Yeah.
I forgot that was a drop you had. That was weird in my ears. That freaked me out for a second.
So it was a bit.
It does that to me every week. That happens to me every week, Dave. Because it's that it kind of like comes to you slowly. Like the initial drop isn't that loud, so you usually keep talking, and then it just like a.
Yeah, I thought something had happened behind me. I thought something had dropped. No, when Vance joined us from was it from the 49ers we got Vance McDonald from?
Yeah.
And in that first season, in that first initial time with us, he was like this sort of tough physical receiver. And I mean, everyone remembers it was Monday Night Football, right? And he just absolutely face planted that Buccaneers corner, and it was those sort of plays that made you fall in love with Vance. He was a super physical receiver, and I see that in him in Pat Freiermuth, which makes you sound very Scottish. I feel very Scottish when I say that name. But I was really high on him until about 5 minutes ago. Like I said, the blocking element, like I say, it's not all there, and it's surprising that I've got him here as like 260 pounds. Am I wrong in that? Somewhere between 250 and 260. He's a big dude. As this class as receiver goes, he's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in terms of body weight, and he's not the tallest by any stretch. But that physicality and blocking isn't there. But that's not a concern for me. I think that can be coached into him. I think that can be something that can drill into him. This is your job in this situation. You block this guy, or that's it. So yeah, I'm still Red Star on him. You haven't put me off. I've convinced myself of it again. He's still my Red Star.
Red Star.